going to understand. If the end users may not be a technical guy, he will obviously going to understand these Englishes only. Unless until you cannot be show this English, it may not be possible to get the idea. And it may not be possible to get the based on the decision they want to make on if you are a business analyst or data analyst. Okay, so similarly, the debts also you can calculate the debts by using our just a bar plot. This is just a bar plot, right? You can also visualize by using different colors. Currently, we are using some grayscale. You can also use different colors. Similarly, the debts also very increasing between the you can say Maharashtra side when compared to the all, and you can see the confirmed cases by the death cases we are going to be get as some percentile, or you can say some uh, death by some confirmed cases. This is some logic to understand whenever you have some profit loss, or you can say you want to know about some ratio. So you just calculate by dividing with you can just multiplying with 100 and divide with the total number, right? So that's how you can also do some logics whenever you want to do any kind of new column or new data frame according to that. So I'm just creating the new column like death by number of the cases has on such date, and you can also see we are just giving the divided with the two columns, and rounding is nothing but just taking the only two according to the two decimal point. So we are just rounding up if it is any decimal value. Yeah, in the next line what we are doing, we are just taking whatever the value from this data frame, and this is the column we are going to be get, right? So I'm just rounding up whatever the floating value we had. The floating value is going to be less than that or may not be less than that. I'm just sorting ascending order, and these are the top 10 values or the head values we're going to be get. So mostly the Gujarat having, yeah, we are using ascending, right? So the mostly maybe Pondicherry. Yeah, so the Pondicherry having 59 percentage of the death by confirmed cases when compared to the all, right? And you can see, and yeah, this one is the less when compared to the all, but I'm just curious to understand this is somewhat mid-range of the cases when compared to the all the cases. So if you take average also for this percentage, you will get an idea what are the average cases or average death with confirmed cases for each region or each states. So these are the most I can say this region, these four data frames are going to be average kind of the thing when compared to the quoted deaths and also the confirmed cases. You can see the death and confirmed cases are very less when compared to this, but it slightly not that much of integrity to make sense when compared to this. So that's what I'm thinking. So it may be replicate to all the other states maybe. And you can see I'm just taking the 10 million instead of taking only for the such date. So you can also play around with 1 million maybe, or you can also play around with the 2 million. How does that going to be helpful in the other different states we had the corresponding the cases. So this is the another data frame we are going to be get Indian states. So let's go and check out that. We have I think CSV file only. Yeah, sorry, this is in the Excel file sheet 1. So in this Indian states, yeah, we have this data frame. State wise Aadhaar card is assigned as of now 2019, and along with the area per square kilometers. So how much the kilometer for the area according to the state. So that's for the information and assign some of the other cards. So we'll rename some of the columns. This may not be looks like. You can also see some of the columns are having some spaces. So whenever you want to do some like this, so whenever you want to do some of the new columns, you have to renaming, or you may not be. You can also make something like underscores. That is also very helpful. And instead of that, you can also rename the things if possible to do that. Yeah, you can see we're just renaming the things according to that states and also the population wise. So instead of taking the other card, we're just taking only the population and also the state wise. Yeah, you can understand by using this data frame maybe. So what are the different populations we are going to be get, and we're just displaying on the head. You can also display up to how many states we had. I think we have 27 states, right? So you can display all the states. So according to that, you can do analyze, or you can also sort by using the descending or ascending order. You can also take maybe what is the mean value according to the states, and you can also perform the percentile value according to this state to other state, and what is the increaseness percentage or what is the decreaseness percentage. That is also helpful to understand how many cases are increasing at this stage when the populations are increasing. So you can join with the other tables. We had already tables with the death and confirmed cases, right? You can join with this table to try to understand what is the population between these two tables and how much the death is increasing every day. You can also play around with the month wise or the year wise. You can also do some percentile wise and the statistics to get to know about what is the mean value corresponding to the each and every state. So we had to do so many things by using the Python instead of going with the Power BI or instead of going with the Excel. Python will helpful to understand whatever the possibilities where you have to do. So that is the main strategy to follow any Python coder or any kind of the developer. Because every time what will happen, you have a strategy, but you don't know how to implement it. If you have some Power BI, so Power BI only makes us some columns and rows, but it may not be makes us to understand modeling. You have a modeling in Power BI, but you cannot be do eventually from scratch. You have to get it from the data only anyway. So if you modified the data, it will be helpful to understand the visualization very easily. So instead of going the Power BI, you can also try with Python. This is a basic strategy to follow every industry. Okay. So yeah, we are just taking the cases per 10 million as we just now discussed, so that we'll get some idea of what are the different stresses causing with the 10 million per cases. Yeah, you can see the data frame. Yeah, for the cases for 10 million, around this much of the count for the Gujarat and this much of count for the Maharashtra. And you will also get to know about some of the cases with corresponding to, yeah, with corresponding some sorting out the descending order or ascending order. Currently we are doing within descending order. Yeah, you can see the most cases per 10 million is the Ladakh. When compared to the all the next with the Delhi and the Maharashtra came into the picture. Maharashtra at the time is the top, right, for the death and also the confirmed cases, but it went to the third position. So why is went to the third position? That is a question right now. So how to look on that? So what you need to do, how to look on that? So then go to Maharashtra. What are the different deaths and what are the different curated when compared to the previous date? You have to like that, and you can also take some, you can say take some consideration, some statistics. Then you can compare both the things by using the two data frames. That is also one strategy to follow. And secondly, you can say only the one depth in Ladakh. Why it is happened only one depth? What is the reason to get the one depth? You can also see some of the cases are 12 depth, and some of the states had only 3 depths. 12, some cases had 0 also. So what is the strategy they followed? So taken some other data frame, I mean, they will confirm what are the different events that they conducted and what are the different, you can say, different kind of mechanisms they have to follow. Similar, you can say different governments and similar strategies. So if they will work out at that time, how does that going to help us to decrease the death, and how does that going to help us to increase the confirmed cases? So at that point, you will get some idea how they applied this kind of the strategy. So you can also implement this solution in the newspapers, right? That's how they are writing these newspapers. They, according to some of the data analysis, they're going to write some of the newspapers. And you will also get from something called as a movie reviews. Okay, movie reviews is not came from sky. Okay, it will came from some person. You have to write some code and you have to do some analysis. Then only you will get some to understand whether it is a positive review or negative review, or whether it is a good movie or the bad review. You may not be get it from the Google. Google is just for to get the information, that's it. But actual review came from only while doing some analysis. So okay, so yes, similar kind of the stuff. You can also play around with this, just for the confirmed cases taking the greater than the 30,000. Why it is taking? So you can see the most of the cases are above the 3 countries. Above the countries are most of the cases. We can also do some average and take that consideration as a threshold. Then we can move forward. Yeah, just plot it. according to whatever the number of cases and per number of per classes confirmed cases what we had. Yeah, this is just a scatter plot to understand how does different states having the distributions between the number of the cases per 10 million people and also the number of confirmed cases. And you can see the most number of the cases are most number of the states are fall into this place, that is less than of the 50,000 number of the confirmed cases. And yeah, Ladakh, you can see Ladakh is a very top, and it is also per number of the cases per you can say 10 million people is very high and compared to the Delhi, same as we just seen this, right? So same as like that, just for visualizing purpose to get more clarity, you can also